and we're gonna see if this is working or not. 1 second. Just before I get all happy. Is this working? Is this working? Or is this working? Should pop right here on the feed of FGallions videos. There's a little bit delayed always. Are we streaming or not? What do you guys think? Are we streaming or not? Look, listen, if you're there, let me know, because we were streaming not too long ago. And I believe we are. I believe we are. I believe we are now. I look like an idiot here. You're probably seeing me, and there you go. Yeah, I'm live. We are live now. Well, that's awesome. All right, so you're back. That's really good. All right, guys, so let's start again from the top. Thank you for coming to another episode of FGallions, guys, and sorry about the internet connection. It always happens. But again, today we're going to be talking about 3 new products announcements. Let's do it again. Today we're going to be talking about 3 new product announcements. And a lot of you guys have been asking me, hey, what happened to you? You know, you disappear. You used to do the show every single Sunday, and then you dropped it to like every now and then like a couple of days. So what happened is that every time I need to work on a new project, I need to devote 100% of myself. And let's pray that the internet doesn't drop one more time, because if not, I'm gonna have to pre-record it. But every time I work in a new project, you know, I need to focus. And this is kind of like the stage when I know what I'm gonna do. When I'm actually twinkling with ideas, you know, I always like work on and off, you know, and sporadic moments, but when I'm really focused and I really, you know, nail it, you know, in my mind, you know, I like to work on a straight line. So this is what's been happening, you know, in the probably for the past beginning of the year, right? For the past 6 months. So I want to tell you a little bit about that. And let's start by saying that a lot of you guys have seen some of the new things that we've been announcing. For example, the Dark Lab Electronic division. So back in 2014, I started playing around with the idea of starting developing electronics. And when I mean electronics, you know, I was thinking about power supply and how I would like for a power supply to be. So we started that department without knowing anything about setting up an electronic research group. So that's what happened. So it took some time. You know, some people came in and out, and finally we really found what we were looking for. So a lot of you guys know that we have a power supply called Dark Lab Hover that is going to be releasing very, very, very soon. And that was a project that actually had about 6 revisions, meaning like 6 complete different things, you know, and developing something without too much experience in the power supply development. Obviously, you know, the engineers are super skilled, but they're as good as, you know, our vision. So that took me a little bit of time to really, you know, set up my mind in what I really wanted to do. And we did about 6-7 power supplies probably that were someone that were completely different functionality, complete different interfaces and stuff like that until we nailed it. So the Dark Lab Hover, as you guys, you know, have seen already, is a power supply that requires no touching. So you're going to be able to control the power supply by simply doing gestures with your fingers. So fingers and hand. So why is that? Well, first of all, you know, we want to remove as much cross-contamination as possible from the equation. And having a unit that you don't have to touch to operate, it's kind of like, you know, the perfect power supply, because if you want, you don't even have to cover it. You can just wipe it after, you know, every single tattoo. Of course, this one is designed for you to cover because there's no such thing as too much percussion. So this power supply was a power supply that not only you can operate with gesture, but you can also cover. And that was the part that really took the longest to achieve, to the point that some point I actually rethought the project. I'm like, am I going in the right direction? But the impossible just takes a little bit longer. And right now, I want to talk about some of the features of the Hover. I'm not going to show you the power supply. I have one downstairs, but I'm not going to show you the power supply. There are a lot of posts on Instagram right now. You can actually Google the hashtag Dark Lab Hover, and you can see it right there. But the power supply is going to have two inputs, and those inputs can be used either for tattoo machine or foot switch, or tattoo machine and tattoo machine. So you can actually plug two tattoo machines in one unit, and you can actually switch units by simply waving right or left. Right or left, and that way you can toggle in between machine. Now, when you don't have a machine plugged in, actually, and let's say you have one machine, and you can actually choose which port is going to be the machine. So it's not gonna be like some power supply where you plug it in this port and you're like, what's going on? The machine is not working. This one, no matter where you plug it, you're actually gonna be able to run the machine. It's very intelligent, so it can detect the machine and really give you power through that port. So that's one of the features that I wanted to have in that power supply, because I've been working on this thing for a while. I own a lot of power supplies, and some of the things that sometimes I find to struggle with is actually exactly that I like the device to really do the work for me in a sense, right? Like, for example, phones. We got so spoiled with phones that if we have now the notch in the iPhone, oh my God, the iPhone has the notch and everyone goes crazy. But I like to refine products as much as possible. So this is the reason why we didn't want to launch that product probably like 6 months ago, or even last year, at the end of the year, because I really saw more room for improvement. And while I don't want to do like version 2 and 3 before I launch version 1, I kind of like went that route to give you guys the most for your buck. So the unit is going to have up to 9 banks, actually 10 banks, that you can actually customize. All the menus operate, with hand gesture. So, for example, to turn on the power supply, hold your hand on, beep, and there you go. You turn on the power supply. To lock the power supply, you do exactly the same thing. I'm actually going to be doing a video specifically with that unit, in my hands, but that's going to be its own video. That's why I didn't want to kind of like overwhelm you guys with that right now. But just to tell you a little bit. So also you can lock the unit, because of course it has air gesture. So if someone is nearby or messes you around, they can actually change the parameters. So I added a feature where you hold the hand, to turn it on and off. And if you leave it a little bit longer, it actually does an alarm and it locks. And to unlock, you do exactly the same thing. You actually hold it a little bit longer and boom, and unlock. So, and you see a lock on the screen. Speaking about screen, the unit has a screen right in the center, right? And, I'm surprised that no other power supply actually has the screen in the center. And the power supply is really, really round. I mean, a lot of you guys are familiar with this thing right here. This is an Atom X Critical. So it's round, a tiny bit bigger than this one, but the screen, this one, has it up here. So our screen is right in the center. By putting the screen right in the center, and by actually having a power supply symmetric, you can actually rotate the power supply. And the ports are actually located in this situation, right? In this plane. And you can actually rotate the ports. You can actually have the unit with the cables coming up or coming down. And there is a feature in the menu that allows you to automatically rotate all the display. So that was one of the things that I wanted to do, and it took a little bit more programming to actually achieve that effect, and we got it. Now, what else we have? Also, this unit has 2 USB ports. And yes, you can charge your phone, but not necessarily just the phone. So the reason why we have USB charging is because of the second epic announcement that I'm about to tell you guys. But you can actually charge devices. You can actually charge battery pack, hint. And you can actually charge whatever you want. So you have from one port up to 1.5 amps fast charge. And the other one, you have the conventional, I believe it's 800 milliamps, so kind of like a computer. I mean, a computer's 500 milliamp, but you can charge up to 2 devices at one. Of course, we always recommend that you don't stick your phone in the mix. So, but if you want to have your phone there, you put it back, maybe you want to change music or whatever, and you want the phone to be charged, you can actually charge the phone. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the hover anymore. The hover is really, really epic. It's really, really nice. It has 2 lights on the side. Lights also have some indication of a lot of things. And again, my next video is really going to blow you away, because I'm actually going to have the unit in my hand and I'm going to do some demonstration and show you all the features. Now, I want to move on to the second topic. But before you actually decide to leave that chair, I want to let you know that stick until the end of the show, because we're going to be giving away stuff. Actually, I'm going to be giving away all these Vertex needles that we have. And thank you guys for the support. These needles, I mean, have become kind of like a standard right now for a lot of you guys. And I just want to give away, 3 boxes of this. Actually, I'm going to give away 4 boxes of these needles. So they're going to be boxes of your choice. And for that, you got to stick until the end of the show. Okay, moving forward. Product number 2. And today, I'm just going to do a super informal from here. I mean, I could have done it with a hover too. Let me just show you one thing, because I have a library in my phone with all the projects I work on. Interesting, right? So we're going to go here, the gallery, album, and where is my... Here we go. So next project, actually I'm going to show you the picture on Instagram, which is really, really cool. So next project that we're going to be talking about is the much more awaited Scion battery pack. And we're going to do it completely, today is going to be completely non-technical. I'm just going to show you the phone and that's it. So let me see. I'm sorry, this is my first show ever after so long, so I kind of like have to recap again and get in the groove, right? So let me show you right here. All right, so say no, okay. So this is what we have, and actually, I'm gonna show you guys. Maybe I can switch screens. There you go. Let me just zoom in a little bit. That's pretty cool. There you go. So I'm going to show you this. Actually, let me set this in. No, if I do an airplane mode, you're not going to be able to see me. But anyway, so this is the battery pack, lightning bolt battery pack. Guys, you want a wireless, and I know that you guys are super stoked about this one. Look, 5,000 and something likes. We are going to be releasing the very first battery pack for the Scion. Now, we're not the first, we're not the first in the battery pack game. We could have been the first, we've been working on this project for like, what, year and a half plus. But I think we're gonna be the most complete battery pack, the battery pack with the most useful features, the battery pack actually thought by an artist, for an artist, and a battery pack that really delivers what you guys are looking for. And now, what are people looking for when they're actually shopping for a battery pack? Well, number one, they're trying to get rid of cables, right? Obviously. But when you're trying to get rid of cables, you can actually introduce a variable that is much more annoying than actually having a cable plugged into your machine, right? Boom, cable right here. You can introduce a variable which is the off balance of the machine. That's one. You can introduce another variable which is a machine with a battery pack that hangs too high or it hangs too bulky or really, doesn't do much to improve your experience. You just have a new gizmo. So this one actually was thought to really provide you guys, number one, with a pretty decent runtime. And when I say pretty decent, it's gonna vary, depending how fast you run the machine. Using the machine with a 3.2 millimeters, running the machine at about 9 volts, you can probably tattoo for 5 hours with a battery pack plus. With a 3.7, it's gonna give you about 4 hours, 4.5 hours plus. And again, it all depends, how fast you're tattooing, the type of needle, if the membrane is too thick, too hard. So you can expect on an average about 4.5 hours, with this battery pack. Obviously, if you're running your machine at 10 volts, you're gonna probably get 3.5 hours. Now, we could actually give you a power pack that, can last for 8 hours. But what happened is, like, size do matter when it comes to battery packs. And batteries have to actually have mass capacity, size, in order to hold the charge. So we found kind of like the perfect balance between charge, length of the charge, weight, ergonomic, and balance. So this power pack is going to be about 4.5 hours at any given moment. Now, it has a super cool feature. The super cool feature is that now you can actually broadcast all the settings of the machine to the hover wirelessly. So you can actually see the voltage. You can actually see the hertz, the speed of the machine. You can see the amps, and you can also control the unit wirelessly, touchlessly. So not only you have a battery pack, that you can actually be free from cables, but also you can control it. And now you can opt for using your hover to really display all the settings. Now, you are going to be able to actually pair the battery pack with the hover. But if you have like 10 battery packs, you can actually pair all those battery packs. And for example, you can have a battery pack, let's say, with a machine, with a rotary machine, you have, because it also gonna fit Spectra Halo, Spectra Edge X, and a Spectra Direct. So you can have a Spectra Halo with a battery pack, and maybe for lighting, a lot of people like to use the Direct for that kind of stuff, or even a coin machine. And you can just simply switch machines rather than having to plug and unplug the battery pack. So that's one thing. So you can have actually different battery packs that you're gonna be able to switch from pack to pack by simply doing air gestures of the hover. So complete sick technology that we have been developing. And again, this is the reason why I have been away from YouTube, and why I have been like really pushing hard to deliver real products, not just gimmicks or cool gadgets. I want to deliver tools that are going to improve your experience as a tattoo artist. So let me show you again. So the battery pack is pretty light when you consider the size of the machine. So it's going to hang right behind the motor bolt, and it wraps around the machine a little bit. Now we did something different that is actually also gonna grab the machine a little bit from there. But as you see, it's round, so it allows for most machines that we make to actually fit the power pack. You can fit a Halo, you can fit a Direct, and you can fit an Edge X. And it's also going to fit on some machines. We're gonna do a test with different machines and see how they fit. But definitely it's gonna fit the Scion and the Scion Gorilla perfectly. In fact, this battery pack was designed around this machine. So you get, let's wrap it up. You get wireless capability. You get Bluetooth connectivity. You can actually connect to the hover and see all the displays and control the power pack with air gesture, using the hover. You can also charge it via USB and USB-C, and it also works tether. Why tether? Well, let's say that you only can afford one battery pack, and like I mentioned before, a pack is gonna last you about 4.5 hours, right? So 5 hours. So you have one pack, and you run out of battery. Well, you can actually plug the battery pack in between sessions. So as you are, taking breaks, the unit can actually charge. But also, if you decide to actually work with a machine with a cable, you can actually charge the battery pack and work kind of like a traditional tattoo machine, with the advantage that a USB-C cable is much thinner and the jack is much, much lighter than a conventional RCA. So, if budget doesn't allow it, you can actually be a happy tattooer with one battery pack, one USB-C cable, charge the battery pack when you need it, charge in between breaks, or even, just work tether to the unit. And you can actually use the hover, to charge it. Of course, now, if you are one of those artists that like to have, a variety, well, then you can actually have two battery packs. One can be actually charging in the hover, and using the hover gives you fast charge to the second battery pack, which it allows you to charge in about 1 hour. So that's pretty cool. So the hover is not just a power supply; it enables fast charging to the battery pack. So we call it the lightning bolt battery pack. So this one is going to be available very, very soon, guys. I don't like to give specific dates because, as you guys know, I tend to actually move things around here and there. So I like to work with at liberty. I don't like to promise and release a product and then having to release a product as I promised. So I don't tell you. I just tell you that very, very soon. And we're pretty excited. Now, Javi Antunes is testing the battery pack, and a couple of the folks from the FKR Pro team are testing the pack. I'm testing the pack. My wife is actually testing the pack in the permanent makeup world. So people are loving it. Functionality is super cool. I forgot to say, The battery pack is also going to have, as of today, it's also going to have a button. Okay, so it's going to have one single button that enables you to do everything. Turn on the machine, turn it up, and turn it down. So let's say you don't want to, let's say you're traveling and you're like, you know what, I'm going to go super light. I'm not going to change my parameters, too often. Well, the power pack has a button that you can actually do everything with. Turn it on, turn it off, and turn it up. So pretty cool right there. I think that some of the solutions that I've seen, especially the Chinese one that have current that fluctuates a lot, and also really dirty current that can actually damage the motor. This one has smart charge, so it won't let you overcharge the battery. It also has a battery monitor, so it monitors the battery and it monitors how you use the battery to give you the best charging performance per se. And it would always protect the battery so you don't overcharge the battery, overdrain the battery, overcharge the battery. It always manages how much are you using the battery, how you using the battery, and kind of like control. So super techy, guys. If you want to go have a coffee, go have a coffee because we're gonna get even more techy right now. Now, let me take a break. I'm gonna take a sip of water right now, and I'm gonna read some of the comments right here. So thank you to all of you guys for being here with me today. So someone is saying, please, regálame una máquina in Spanish. Like he's asking for me to give him a machine for free. Kind of like going to a shop and say, hey, give me a tattoo for free, right? Unless, the person's super really good friend of yours. But anyway, so we got the dealership tattoo studio, Del Glidden. It says, Zion is king. Then we have Ron Kreider say, yeah, boy. And he's very excited about the Vertex. Thank you very much. What else? We got people from Quebec, Canada. Nativo Sioux, if I pronounce it right. Okay, so this is a great question. So Ron Kreider, I hope I'm saying your last name right. Ron Kreider is asking, will the pack lose voltage as it dies, or it will maintain until it dies? That's a really good question, and you're not the first person that actually asked me that question. Of course, you are going to get flawless performance. So this is not a unit that actually drains the power from the battery and it kills it, and the performance starts decreasing as the battery goes lower. No, this one will give you always at all time 100% reliable current. You're not gonna get fluctuation. You're not gonna get dips or anything like that. So once the battery that cannot keep up anymore, the unit actually shuts off its own. But before it shuts off, it's giving you warnings through light colors. So green means fully charged. Yellow means I think it's 70%. Then we have orange. Then we have red, and then we have red blinking, which is boy, we're gonna turn off. So at all times, when you have to recharge the battery. And of course, if you ignore the signs, the unit is gonna turn off to protect itself and to protect the battery. And then you're gonna have to plug the unit. So that's a really good question. Ron Schaffer is saying, does it connect with other power supplies? If you have a power supply that has USB-C or USB that can actually provide you power to to a mobile device or anything like that, yes, you're going to be able to use it. But you can plug the power pack into conventional power supply. In fact, you don't need a power supply. To actually use the hover, unless you want to see the readings. Then the hover is the one that's going to give you that. Theo Farmer said, what will the parameters be? Parameters in what sense? Will they be preset without the hover? Oh, okay, that's a great question. So you're asking if the power pack is also going to have built-in preset, or you can say built-in preset. Well, no, it won't, but it will. So why say it won't? Well, it won't on its own, but it will when it's connected to the hover. Remember, the unit doesn't have a screen, so can you imagine like having to fiddle? We just wanted to make it super straightforward. We don't want to complicate the battery pack. We just want to give you power and give you also the capability to turn on and off. Most tattoo artists, they judge their unit by ear, but some of you guys love to see the speed and stuff like that. So you still can do it with a hover, not just looking at the unit. You will not be able to tell unless you have a great ear like a lot of us. So that's that. What else? The Dealership Tattoo Studio says, I'll never buy another brand. It really is the best machine out there. Well, thank you very much, guys. We really appreciate your support. And remember, at the end of this live, we're going to be giving away this guy. So hang on. I really appreciate if you guys can repost the URL right now on your Facebook, or do a shout out on Instagram or something, so people can actually they can know that we're here and that we're going to be giving stuff away. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little live on I'm going to do a little post on Instagram right now. Let's do a little post. Let me clean the lens. Like I told you guys, this is completely random. So, and I'm going to say right now we're live on YouTube, so you can search us at youtube.com and search for FK Islands right there. We're live and we're going to be giving away all this Vertex. So that's me, and those are all the people that are actually live right now. So come check us out, youtube.com, search for FK Irons. We're talking about 3 epic product announcements, and we're going to be giving away this at the end of the show, so don't miss it. That's it. Boom. Live now. I'm just typing it. Live now on YouTube. And 3 epic announcements plus Vertex giveaway. Does anyone do this? Like kind of like start advertising in the middle of the video their own live? No, but I do it. Giveaway. Boom. Done. Up. So like I was telling you guys, that is it. I mean, if you have any other question, please let me know. Let me know. Okay, so we got more questions. So Roy Schaefer said, just seen the hover online, looks legit. Like I like the hand gesture feature. So yeah, and one of the things that we actually did in the hover, and let me show you a picture of the hover at least. One of the things that we did in the hover is that we actually simplified the gesture. At the beginning we got so excited with gestures, and it looked like Karate Kid right there on the hover. But then we really decided to simplify things. So this is a great picture right now. Check this out. I'm gonna show you again. So this is a great picture. It shows you the hover and it shows you the plugs. And what I told you about the feature that you can turn it around, you can turn it around, and then there is a feature in the unit that actually flips the screen. And how do you trigger the menu? Remember, hovering in the unit turns it on and off. Long hold, prompts to the lock, and an even longer prompts to the menu. So once you're in the menu, you can cycle through by simply going to the sides like that, or hovering on the side. So that's about that, guys. Now, with Vertex now, when will the app launch? More about that in just a moment. So, guys, what is the third announcement? Well, for this one, I don't know. For this one, I think I am just going to leave it as wireless is just getting better. I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, why? I'm going to do a dedicated video just for that announcement. And again, we've been working so hard on this third announcement that really I don't want to jeopardize by saying much. I remember what happened with the Scion. I remember that I posted a video with a lot of information, and soon after we got the clones out there. But some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Wireless is just getting better, and now if you like the Scion and if you like the battery pack, imagine what would happen if both of them married. Just leave it as that. So that is going to be a very, 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 very interesting announcement, and we're working on it. So expected 2020 to actually see the tattoo industry redefined. Okay, so by next year, I know that you guys are sick of a lot of things. And in fact, it's like artists are getting not lazier, but they're getting spoiled. They're getting spoiler and spoiler and spoiler, if that's the way you say it, right? But we get a little bit of tech, and then we want a little bit more of tech. And it's like with every release, we expect things to really kind of like levitate and do things for ourselves. And I got to tell you that I think we may have figured that out. We may we may have figured out how to give you the product that really simplifies things to its minimal component. A product that lets you focus on the art first and not so much on dealing with a lot of gadgets. So all these products that I'll be introducing today are actually the foundation of the future of our company, what we have in mind, as development, and, products that won't become obsolete. That is actually the, what I wanted to say, because a lot of the times, let's take it back from coil machines, right? Coil machines, I have a coil machine right here. I still use coil machine. People still use coil machine. But what happened is that as technology got better, as manufacturers, got to design better products, users got used to those, cool features and, the simplicity of the setup. So as we start moving towards those newer tools, and I know that a lot of you guys are old school, and high respect for the old school. I'm not old school, guys. I'm a guy that I like to work with the latest and greatest. I mean, that's just me. I like tools. I like great tools, and I'm talking about like power tools. I have, there's a new tool. I have to have it if it makes my life easier or improves my work. So, like I was saying, like just with coil machines, we got a lighter coil machine. We thought that it stopped right there, by simply making a machine lighter. And again, this machine, we're still selling it as of today. We sell tons of these machines. But, before was just to make the machine a little bit nicer, to perform nicer, and nobody cared about the weight. Then we did care about the weight. Personally, I can't hold a heavy machine anymore for, since like 12, 13, 14 years ago. So I came up with these machines, right? This line, the L13, super light. And we thought that we just stopped right there. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's actually experiment with rotaries. And then, the rotary machine. And a lot of artists, were inclined to the rotary. Why? Because they were cleaner, easy to wipe out, lighter. And again, the newer breed of artists, it's kind of like, they don't like to go back to really complicated tools. And when I'm saying complicated, I'm not saying that a coil machine is complicated, but a coil machine requires a grommet, requires clip cords that we completely eradicated clip cords on our rotaries, require, a different setup. Remember, we used to have the side wing nut on our first machine, and then we evolved to the Gilliton, and then with the Spectra EJX, when I came up with a system, we evolved to this, and kind of like we cannot look back to a wing nut or something like this anymore for a rotary. So, as the technology evolves, once you feel that you have achieved something incredible that cannot be beat, we happen to actually beat ourselves just by simply thinking hard and really learning from our past experiences. So every machine that we build, it kind of like it lays a foundation for newer products to come. So, and now what I feel with the Hover and with the wireless technology and, with the Spectra Scion, I think that we have actually built finally a platform, and a platform that is going to last for many years to come. I think from now on, we're not going to see a lot of transformation in the industry when it comes to equipment. There are probably like a little, a couple of more new things that we can try, but I think that we have pushed the technology so far, kind of like flat screen TV, remember TVs before? Well, now we got flat screen. So now flat screen, they just get flatter, I mean, what else are you going to do? Projection. Okay, we have projections. What's next? Maybe projecting something in the air, but flat screen TVs, I think that we're flatter. We're going to get more megapixels. We're going to get but I mean, TVs are going to be flat. They're not going to go back to being bulky in boxes, on our tables and anything like that. So we products exactly the same thing. Ron Crider said, you sent me a CAD image of the Scion on the rotary forum back in 2014. Oh yeah, man. 14. Wow. Machine that took me almost 3 years to release. So the Hover, the battery pack, the wireless technology, the Scion, the shape and form factor are actually platforms that I think are going to enable us to really settle for a moment, So when people say, Is the sign going to be replaced? I gotta tell you today, the sign is not gonna be replaced. Why? Well, I mean, first of all, the Scion was the very first machine with give adjustment of its kind, right? That give adjustment inside where you can actually adjust the give, and you know it locks. You pop the grip, ratcheting system. You know, motorable. Since our first rotary, we have motorable system. So. What we have coming up is actually a combination of all these things that we're putting together. So the Scion is not going to be replaced. At least there's no projection to replace the Scion in 2020 neither. This Scion is going to be the only machine with give adjustment pen style. It's going to be the only machine that is going to allow you to change stroke. So we don't have plans to make any other machine with its features in the future. And why we don't want to do that? Because we want to concentrate on on other things like creating better cartridges, creating better power sources to control the machine, better options and stuff like that. People are producing great, incredible results with this machine. So, of course, there's going to be enhancements down the line. We're always tweaking our motors. We're always tweaking our materials. We're always trying to make the machine lighter. There are going to be things like that. But, to come up with something different than a pen-style machine, I think we achieved the maximum goal. I think that we've been dreaming about about working with machines that are like pen style. So we have achieved that milestone. And again, from the coil moments, again, give adjustment. We can probably do something about the give changing digitally. That's something that we have thought about. But again, you're not going to see drastic changes from here to this. I mean, I think at least, unless I'm wrong, or at least in the next 5 years, we won't see these drastic changes. So what else? Now, I think it's time to do the Vertex giveaway. And let me read a little bit here. Someone is saying here, Ron Kreider is saying magnets seem to be the new direction in machines. Haven't tried any yet. Well, guess what? Motors have magnets. So I think, I've seen some magnetic machines that they work in the principle of repulsion or attraction. My dad is calling me. So I'll call you back, Dad. So I think that, you could see something in that arena. But again, shape, form factor, machine, I think we're going to continue to tattoo with devices that are elongated like pens. And that. So guys, let me actually do the giveaway because my dad is calling me and I don't like to hang up on my dad. But we're going to do the giveaway right now. We're going to continue on this journey, and if you guys like this kind of topic where we brainstorm and we share ideas, and I'm game to do more live shows like this one. So we're gonna be giving away 4 boxes of Vertex needle. So you're gonna have to guess. I'm gonna make it very simple for you guys this time. So you're gonna have to guess the last 2 numbers of the serial number of this machine. And, I'm going to pick the 4 closest number to the serial number. And it's going to be from 10 to 40. So those, I guess I'm going to do it like that. But guys, you can go ahead and tell me, no, it's not 23, no, it's not 24. It's from 10 to 40. So while you keep shooting, let me see. Okay, so we got June Balloon. You're one of the winners. Dan Trueblood, you're one of the winners. And Aaron Nunes, you're one of the winners. And Jason Mercury, you are one of the winners. Because the number of the machine, I don't know if I can show you. I'm going to try to, it's actually 32. And it's right here. There. Can you see that? Oh, can you believe? Let me see. Oh, there. 32. There you go. The number right there. 32. So guys, I said the name, I already forgot it, but rewind if you missed it. You're going to have to email us at Sixnito each of those 4 names that I mentioned today. You know, you're getting those. So this is it for today, guys. The stream is already messing me up. And I'll see you again with another episode of FK Honors. So we have a lot to talk, guys. Thank you for joining me, and I'm happy to be back. We're going to have more of these.